Hey friends, happy Sunday. I hope you've had a beautiful, beautiful week. I hope you've been able to follow along with us. We've started an Advent study and we started on December 1st and are going all the way through the 25th. But this is our second Sunday in Advent and our theme is joy. And so I wanted to share a story with you, but I wanted to go through, just in case you haven't been able to come with us on our little Advent journey, I wanted to give you a little review and tell you also, if you want to go back and start, just go to TVC Kids Nashville on YouTube and you'll find all those studies there, all in the same playlist, and then also on Instagram and Facebook. So if you guys want to follow, we'd love to have you. But first, I'm going to show you our Advent calendar, which is our pop-up tree. And we started with day one. This is called the Jesse tree. And we said, out of the root, out of the stump of the family of David, there would be a new shoot. There'd be new life out of that family. Who's that going to be? All right. This is leading us all the way to Jesus. And then on number 2, we talked about creation. The glorious, glorious, beautiful creation. Step outside your door. Look at the world that God created by just using words. Let there be light. There be water and oceans and mountains and fish and animals. And finally, taking a little bit of dirt and his breath, he breathed life into man. He created a gorgeous world for us. And then on day 3, we talked about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, right? And there's this beautiful tree, but what's wrapped around that beautiful tree? Yeah, there's an enemy who wants to fill Eve's ears and heart full of lies. He did not want Adam and Eve to stay close to God. He wanted to take them away. So he wanted to fill their hearts with lies, and it worked. So we know what's coming. Next, on day 4, we talked about Noah and the ark. So much fun to hear about those animals, but so important for us to know that God had to do that because the people would not obey. In our story, it said it leaned to the left and leaned to the right, towards selfishness or towards idols, but not down the center for God, okay? We need to make sure we keep our minds and hearts on God. All right. Day 5, God said even after the flood, people were not following him and people were not staying close and loving him. So he was going to start a new kingdom. And he took a man named Abram, right? And there's 2 little camels and a tent on this because he took Abraham out, away from everything he knew, away from his family and friends, away from everything. He said, I just need you to follow me. I need you to believe and trust in me. And so out in the middle of the desert, he said, Abraham, look up, see the stars in the sky. I am going to give you as many descendants as the stars in the sky. And we are ready for day 6. Here comes day 6. And we're going to hear about those stars in the sky and those descendants in our next story. Are you guys ready? Before we even read the story, I want to make sure you guys know, if you go on thevillagechapel.com, for each one of these days you can make an ornament, and on the front it has the illustration from the book, which are really beautiful, and then the date and a verse, a Bible verse, and then the title. So that's a really great thing if you want to put those on your tree. And then also there's coloring pages for each one of the stories, so you can make your own little book if you want, with some really beautiful coloring pages. So I hope you guys will do some of those and get involved and bring the whole family involved in this. But let's see what story number 6 is. Are you ready? All right. The story today is called The Gift of Laughter. So it should be a good one. That's the beautiful illustration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try counting all the way up to 99. Can you do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, let's count by 5s. Are you ready to do it with me? Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh, that's tiring. How about by 10s? Can we do by 10? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 9. You did it. Good job. All right, that's pretty old though, isn't it? That is how old white-haired Abraham was when he stood underneath those millions of stars and tried counting all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my, so many stars. Even counting by 10s, we wouldn't be able to do it, would we? Standing there under thousands of millions of blinking stars, Abraham had one question. when God said he would give Abraham thousands and millions of children, as many as the stars in the sky, how? That was Abraham's question. How? Abraham and his wife didn't even have one child, so they didn't even have one grandchild. They only had one worn-out prayer that God would give them just one miracle child of their own to hold and to laugh with and to love forever. But wait, how is this impossible? It's not, because who births the stars with the very breath of his mouth? Who does it? We learned it earlier. God, if he could birth all those stars, do you think he could birth a baby? I think he could bring a baby. He can. God does that. If God births stars, couldn't he also make one old man and one old woman birth one little baby? Couldn't God grow a family into a love big enough to fill the skies? Yes, he can. Abraham, God said, everything is always more than it seems, more than you can see. I am doing unexpected things. I am sending you a child, and through that child, your family will grow big and the whole earth will be blessed. Wow, that is quite a promise, isn't it? Yes. Abraham laughed. He laughed so happy. And when the news of the miracle child reached the ears of his wife Sarah, she laughed too. But Sarah laughed a little sad, a little like the way when you think someone's trying to tease you and you laugh brave so that you don't cry so hard. Yeah, sometimes you use laughter like a shield to protect your heart. Could Sarah let down her guard and believe that God would be gentle with her dream to hold a child of her own? Sometimes when your heart hurts, your head hurts, and it's hard to believe. Many months went by. The stars came out every night. Sometimes Abraham and Sarah went out on the hillside and tried to count them. Abraham's 100th birthday passed, so he became 100 years old. Can you imagine trying to blow out all those candles? That would be hard, wouldn't it? And then, when Abraham was 100 years old, Sarah had a baby boy. Abraham leaned in close over the baby, his forehead gently touching Sarah's. Isaac, Abraham smiled. Isaac means laughter. They would laugh with him and love him forever. Sarah held little Isaac and laughed with joy to the heavens. God has brought me laughter. Her wrinkles and her weariness melted away as her lips cradled her smile. Her arms cradled her child. God brings us the gift of laughter, like the bubbly, fizzy soda pop joy for our hearts. Joy is a gigantic secret gift that God gives us, and we never stop unwrapping it. We were once all alone, but now we've been given a child. The many, many, many great-grandson of Abraham will be the baby Jesus. And Jesus makes us laugh because he's coming to save us and free us from all our fears. So do you remember how Sarah, she was a little afraid, right? Because she had a hard time believing that it could actually happen. She wanted a baby so much that she let her fear and her sadness almost cover up the joy that God was bringing them, right? But she got through and she had a baby. God kept his promise. She had a baby and now she can laugh with joy. She could laugh because she knows she could trust God. All right. All fears come from thinking that somewhere God's love will end. But does it end? We've been reading a lot about that, and I think in every one of these readings, we've affirmed that God's love does not end. It never, ever ends. But God's unbearable, unstoppable, unwrappable love for you will never end, no matter what. So we can loosen up because all our heavy, sad chains have been loosened, and we can laugh free because of Jesus, the other miracle child who came to us. That's why we can laugh, because we know that Jesus is here. Laughter comes to us too, because that beautiful miracle child is coming through this family line, right? And we get to hold the wonder of it close to us. Sadness is not the end of the story. Jesus is the end of our story and the beginning of our story and the best part of our story. Because of him, we can sing fa la 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 and feel what laughter does inside of us. It sends us that soda pop fizzy bubbling joy all the way down to our toes. The end of this says, look for 3 times this week where you could bring joy to someone. Not just make them laugh at something silly, but bring them real joy. The real joy, the difference between when Sarah laughed at first and when she had that baby and she felt that. She knew that that was from God. All right? Do you think you could share Jesus with someone this week? Share the love of God with someone and let them experience that joy. Figure out a couple ways you could do that with your family this week. I bet you can. That is great. Hey guys, I hope you'll follow me, all this month as we're going through, counting down the days to the 25th, to the Christmas Day, as we read these stories and we share and understanding God's plan, knowing that God has a wonderful, beautiful plan. And guess what? He doesn't give us a plan and turn his back. He's there to walk us all the way through it. So he had a plan all the way back with Abraham when he said, will you just follow me and trust me and believe? And he has a plan for you and for me, and he sent Jesus to save us and to rescue us and to walk with us daily. So I love you guys, and I'm so glad that you're going through this with me. Go check out those ornaments. Follow us on YouTube to catch up if you got a little bit behind. No big deal. Just join in and learn more about the family of God and about a God who loves you forever and ever, always. I love you guys too, and I'll see you tomorrow, all right? Bye-bye.